yes. Fireworks and everything, y'all. Fireworks and everything. So we are in our anniversary series, y'all. 1 year of morning sips. Oh my goodness, Wayne is something. Yes, Space Cadet. Okay, I see you, Wayne. 1 year of morning sips. So April 6, 2020 was the first morning sip, and I shared that on the actual day, and I was like, this sideways. And it's like, it's there, y'all. It is there. I'm not changing it. A couple of people said, you can fix that. And I was like, that's what had happened. And that's how it's going to stay for the record, because it's a demonstration. It's a demonstration for me that it doesn't have to be perfect. Right? It doesn't have to be perfect now. The important thing is that I did it. It's that I did it, and then I did it again and again and again and again and again, right? And if I was to say all the agains that I did it, there would be over 300 agains. And they got better and better and better and better, you know? Yes, Linda, it gets better and it gets better and it gets better. And that's just how life is when you stick with something, right? When you stick with what is yours to do, it gets better. It does. Yes, Simone, girl, I was so like, come on, girl, get out of Lowe's and come on the show. So we're gonna drop the link again, but I'm excited today because we got to pop in with Lindsay later on in the show. So if anyone would like to pop on the show either today or tomorrow, you can do so. My producer will put the link in the comments, and all you have to do is click on the link. You will be in StreamYard in the green room. We call it the green room. And then Sekou will put you into the broadcast. So before we get into the pop-ups and stuff, I just want to share a little word today. So I've been talking about morning sips in the context of this anniversary celebration, right? And the fact that it really, for me, it took the willingness, the consistency, and the faithfulness to continue to do this. Because I'm not going to tell y'all, like, I wake up, I like jump out the bed. I'm like, oh, morning sip today. Sometimes, yes. And a lot of times, not so much, because immediately the chit chat starts. Immediately the chit chat starts, and the chit chat sometimes sounds like this. Girl, you don't have to do that today. Oh, you're tired. Oh, you know what? Maybe you could just show another repeat or something. Girl, why don't you stop doing this? Girl, I think maybe every Monday is good enough now, right? Or that other part of me that's like the kind of like melly one, she goes, girl, who do you think you are? Nobody want to hear what you have to say, right? And then that's when Red Mel comes on like, girl, I will knock you out. I will knock you out. What you talking about? Come on, girl. Let me give you a hug. It sounds like you need a hug today. So I have all these conversations going on. And what settles me into myself with a capital S is my spiritual practice. I have that whole conversation going on. And as it goes on, I'm just walking to my office because I know as soon as I get into the word, it's all good. It's all good. I don't have to be concerned about any of that. So that is the willingness, the consistency, and the faithfulness to do that which is mine to do. And so my phone is ringing out right now. It's my mother. I don't know why my mama's calling me right now on Messenger. I didn't even know she knew how to do that because she's usually right here on Morning Sip. So it's all good. She'll figure it out. She'll figure it out. Diego, it was my mama. It was my mama calling me. So she'll be here. She'll be here. It's all good. So I talked about willingness the other day, and I talked about consistency. So today I want to talk a little bit about faith. I want to talk about faith today. Diego, he said, Mom, I'm sipping. Yeah, she know. My mother's here with me almost every day. So she knows what's going on. So I want to talk today about a little bit of faith. And immediately when I thought about that, my eyes took me to this little treasure, Acts of Faith. So if you don't know this book, this was like all the rage when this first came out. It is Iyanla Van Zant's book, Acts of Faith, Daily Meditation for People of Color. And it is wonderful. So I want to share something that she writes about faith. So she opens it with a quote, faith without works cannot be called faith. And so we know that quote, faith without works is dead. We know that quote. Faith must inspire action. It alone cannot be verbal. Mental faith is insufficient. Faith is not believing, trying, or hoping. It is the knowing by which you do. Faith develops endurance to face the trials without being tempted to stop. Faith produces doers. Those who understand fewness of words, greatness of deeds, are a measure of true faith. Faith is obedience to the urgings of the Spirit. The porthole through which all things have their being. Faith controls the tongue. I love that. Soothes the head and stifles the lust to complain. I like that too. Faith produces patience. Your life is the only true measure of your faith. Your words and your actions determine the fullness of your cup. If there is anyone or anything of unworthiness in your life, you must ask yourself, to what am I giving my faith? And then she has a closing quote that says, I put my faith in only those things that produce good for me. I love all of that, right? Faith must inspire action. So it's not just to talk, it's not enough to just talk about or even think about what it is that you want to do. You have to be in the activity of it. You have to take action. You have to, what's it could be a hashtag doing. You got to do it. You got to do it because faith is beingness, right? Faith is beingness, and the doingness is what gives it the demonstration. Yes? All right. So it is the knowing by which you do. So that's what we become known by. Our reputations are really an indication of what it is that we are doing, right? It's our calling card. What are you doing? How are you showing up in the world, right? Faith produces doers. Faith is obedience to the urgings of the Spirit. And you know, I talk about that divine urge pretty often. So what is that divine urge that you need to be obedient to, right? Let's step out of disobedience and step into obedience and do what is ours to do. Answer the urge that is calling out to you is the invitation, And then I love faith controls the tongue. Faith controls the tongue. So we know that our words are creative. Our words are creative. So just because you're thinking it doesn't mean you got to say it, right? Or believe it. It soothes your head and stifles the lust to complain. Oh, yes. I did a 21-day don't complain challenge. Whew, it was hard. And the thing was, if you slipped up a day and complained, you had to start all over again. I don't think I ever finished it because I had to keep starting over again. Right? It's so easy to slip into complaint, especially if other people are complaining. So that's a practice of mine, to not complain. And, I have to practice that every day, right? Your words and your actions determine the fullness of your cup. And for me, that translates into the overflow. The overflow. What are you doing? How are you showing up in the world consistently and with the willingness to fill yourself up so that you have something to give to the world? Yes? And then you're in the overflow. You're in the overflow. So morning sip for me is my demonstration of those three qualities: willingness, consistency, and faithfulness. And so I was, I get into these words, you'll know how I am. And I remember when we was doing the Lord's Prayer series that amen means sealed in faithfulness, that it is done, right? Sealed in faithfulness. And so, I started going in, y'all. And so I just found these wonderful nuggets about faith that I want to share. So one is by Ernest Holmes, and he talks about faith and fear. He says, fear is nothing more nor less than the negative use of faith. So we don't want to use faith negatively, because then we're in the land of fear. Napoleon Hill said, we have to match our desire with faith. So I have this quote that I want to put up. Producer, put up the Napoleon Hill quote for me. He said, desire backed by faith knows no such word as impossible. Oh, there's nothing impossible. Nothing is impossible. We live in infinite possibilities. Yes, Jana, we live in infinite possibilities. So we can have faith that nothing is impossible. If we can think it, it can be. It could be, right? All right. And then this is my favorite. This is by Charles Fillmore. You could throw that up, producer. Charles Fillmore, he said, and I love these words, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm, and I spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. I fairly sizzle with zeal. So for me, zeal is joy. So I sizzle with joy. Oh, yes, I do. I sizzle with joy and enthusiasm and spring forth within a mighty faith. Let's spring forth within a mighty faith that's moving forward, right? We're in the momentum of faith, yes? And taking action by doing the things that ought to be done by me. Some of us are doing things that ought to be done by others. In other words, not minding our business. Yes, yes, yes. We can mind our business by doing the things that ought to be done by us and just letting people take care of their own ought to. Yes, yes. Get out of other people's ought to. Yeah, I had to lovingly say that to a girlfriend of mine a couple of days ago. Girl, get out of my business. Why are you in my pockets? And it's all in love, because we need that. We need people in our lives who are honest and who are in with us for the win. Who are in with us for the win. So faithfulness, the desire backed by faith, knows no such words as impossible. So take that with y'all, right? Take that with you. What is it that you know is yours to do? And then step out with faith. Step out as faith. Go in, because it's there. And do it. Do it. All right, y'all. All right. So I'm excited because we're going to have a pop-up. Yes, we're going to have a pop-up. And we're going to have more pop-ups tomorrow. So tomorrow, Reverend Jennifer, who I have mentioned many times, and who gave me the name Morning Sip, is going to pop up tomorrow. And Stacy, who is a fellow practitioner and my sister at Rockland Center for Spiritual Living, she's going to pop up tomorrow. And let's see who else pops up. So I want to bring in Lindsay right now. And so I'm going to let Lindsay share how we connected. I'll let Lindsay share that story. And anyone else that wants to pop in today, just click on the link and we'll get you in. All right? All right, y'all. Yes, we got the fireworks, Lindsay. And girl, we're going to talk about that hoodie in a minute. But yeah, how did this happen, girl?
Well, let me first do this. Happy anniversary, girlfriend. Woo! Yeah, man. Okay, I really want to tell you how this happened because it really was the divine urge that you were just talking about, going within. So I want you to know I am on the left side of the United States. I'm in California, and it is 7:30 in the morning when you come on. So I do a meditation in the morning, and I, have my ritual like you do and my reading. And all of a sudden, one day my phone rang or popped up, and it was telling me that the New Thought Network was going live. And I've always seen that picture. I think it's of Robert. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should see what this Robert has to say. I just had this flow. So I hit the button. There wasn't any Robert. There was you. Girlfriend, it was you.
Surprise.
In all your glory. And you started to talk, and I felt it. Reverend Melissa, I felt it. I said, this girl is part of me. She is flowing with God. She is the vessel of God flowing with joy. Woo! And and then you said, this was before your morning, your 30-day morning diet. She said, if anyone wants to join me, I said, I knew it. It was the calling of God. I was meant to do this 30-day diet with this Reverend Melissa from New York during the pandemic. And I got on, I said, I'm in. From the first day, I said, I'm in. And that's how I met you. And then, of course, I met Sekou, who is part of my brotherhood now of flowing. He's a vessel of God, too, in action. And here I am. And now I wake up with you every morning. And not only you, all the other people that I read their comments, and I've reached out to some of them to be my Facebook friends because I want like-minded people surrounding me.
Yes, Lindsay. Well, girl, that is such a testimony of being obedient, right? It could have popped up. You could have seen it. You could have got that urge to let me click on and see who this Robert is and not do it. So we never know, right? We never know how that one step is going to lead to that next thing, to that next thing, to that next thing. And before you know it, a prayer has been answered, right? A prayer has been answered. We could connect the dots right back to that original desire, that original urge, right? Oh, that's so good. So Lindsay, you are definitely part of the joy community. You're part of my congregation of joy.
Look at my book. These are my favorite books. They're you.
I love it. But Lindsay, you're in this space with me, of knowing the truth and how powerful it is to live in that truth. So tell us, what are you up to? What's going on in California? How are you demonstrating your purpose in life?
Well, thank you. I'm a mindfulness teacher, and actually I used to be a head director of special ed school for 23 years, took care of kids that were emotionally disturbed, maybe bipolar, schizophrenic, did all that work. And then 7 years ago, retired and became a mindfulness teacher. And I go into businesses. I'm happy to say my favorite client was NASA, JPL. 7 times I've taught over there, teaching them to reduce their stress and worry. But with the pandemic, just like you, everything, all my clients, all my government shut down. You think, what is going on here? And I had to then really go within. and wake up and listen to that inner voice that you remind me to get connected to every day and say, this is not happening to me. This is happening through me so I can learn and grow. And then I ended up going on Zoom. So now I teach classes and I do coaching a lot. My oldest client is 89 and my youngest client is 15, and I help them reduce worry and anxiety. But I want to say what I need, and God knows this, I need people like you to flow through me because we help each other get herself aligned. And remember, this isn't about what Lindsay says. This is about Lindsay being the vehicle to help other people to bring joy. And that's what I love. You know, Disneyland is happiness, but joy, you can have joy even in hard times. And you remind me that. And I want to be so grateful for you and your joy community, the joy congregation. Because you all help me make sure I'm lined up right to do what my purpose is.
Yes. So Lindsay, so you are the willingness, the consistency, and the faithfulness is what you are doing. It's what you are demonstrating. It's what you are sharing. So do you have an upcoming class that you're teaching? What's going on?
Well, I have a few, but the biggest one I have is this Tuesday. Now, our time, it's at 10 o'clock. So it would be, no, excuse me. Let me think about that. Gosh, I forgot what time my class is. It's at 2 o'clock my time. Okay. So it's 5 o'clock your time. And you know what it is? It's a reboot and remember of mindfulness tips on how to reduce worry and anxiety, especially if you deal with being overwhelmed or angry, or you have people that trigger you. It's an only 90-minute reboot class this Tuesday. And so if anyone's interested, just DM me. And you know what? It's $15. But if they tell me sip with joy with you, man, it'll be 10. It'll be 10. And you know what? Of that 10, I will donate 5 of it back to you, Rev Melissa. I will split it with you because we are sisters. And Sekou is the brother, and everybody else. We are the family of God expressing. Right?
Yes, Lindsay. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity.
Oh my gosh. What you give, you get back tenfold, right?
Yes. Amen.
I say yes.
So our producer has dropped your Facebook link in the comments. So folks, take advantage of this. Lindsay is a very generous person. She has a very generous spirit and heart. So y'all got the SIP discount, y'all. Right?
Yes. The SIP and donation. But I want to show you this other thing. Look at what I made.
Oh, wait, did you make one just for you? Did you
I made it for myself. I found this and I put it up. And then this is Eric Butterworth's little comments because you spoke about him explaining it. And so I made this flyer for myself to remind me of the prayer and then all the words. But you know what? This is the challenge to you, girlfriend. I'm challenging you. I don't want Eric Butterworth's comments here. I want Rev Melissa's comments here. Where are they, girlfriend? They don't have to be long.
Wait, I feel a conspiracy happening right now. I think you and Sekou are in cahoots. That's what I think is going on right now.
It's time, girlfriend. If you write it up, I'll make this flyer and I'll drop it, the PDF in it, and everyone can download it.
Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. So I got to give myself a buy-win because otherwise it's just hanging out there in the atmosphere. So by the end of this month, that will be done. And so it is. And so it is. And I'm going to need, you know what I'm going to need? I'm going to need a little abracadabra.
Abracadabra, girlfriend. You got this.
Abracadabra. So it is done. It is done. Yes. Yes, Diego. Yes. Discover the power within. Yes. Yes. Discover it and be with it. You know, let it out. Let it out. You know, we discover stuff and then we don't do nothing with what we discovered. Right?
You know,
And I got a whole, Diego, you just started something, but I'm not going to go there because I got this whole thing about discover. That word, that word is a little trigger for me. But anyway, I'm not going to go there today. Note, upcoming SIP, Discover, the Discover series. That's going to happen, Diego. Thank you for that. So, Lindsay, it was so wonderful. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for saying yes and popping on to celebrate our anniversary this week. I so appreciate it. I love you. I'm so grateful that you answered the call and you did what you was being called to do. And look, blessings. Yes, blessings. Yeah. And hero, yes, Congregation of Joy out in Cali. And we got other folks out in Cali. My cousins, Vanessa is out in Cali. She's in the San Francisco area. And Pamela, yes, Pamela is out in Cali. And you know, when we do meditating with the moon for the Cali folks, that's 1 o'clock in the morning. And Pamela has shown up a couple of times. Yes, she has. Yes, Janet's giving you a thank you, Lindsay. That was so wonderful. That is so wonderful. All right. Is anyone else popping up? What you doing, Simone? You in Home Depot today? You was in Lowe's yesterday. Where you at today? All right. We're going to keep it moving. If you want to pop up, you can do so. Just click on the link right there in the comments. I'm going to go into some joy news and we'll see if anyone else wants to pop up. But tomorrow we got Rev Jennifer, we have Stacy, and then we have a surprise guest, y'all. A surprise guest who's popping up with us to close out our anniversary week of celebrations. Yes. So I'm revmelissa, y'all, and I'm just so grateful to be with you all on Morning Sip, broadcast live right here on New Thought Media Network, where many of you have found me, and I'm glad that you decided to stay and hang out in the joy, I'm an ordained interfaith minister. I'm a religious science practitioner, and I'm a purpose coach. And that is my ministry of joy, where I support people in living life in joy, connected to their yes. So if you would like to work with me, if you need some support in your purpose, and you feel that urge, but you don't quite know your next step to take, reach out and I can support you and guide you and be that companion that you need on your journey. Okay, so just DM me and we can make that happen.